Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to show a deck that is truly unique, which is the brand new indie deck by Brad Ashlock, the Taro deck. Here is the box, and this deck is quite an innovation. This is a combined deck of Taro mages and lenormand images. So it's 52 cards in the deck. So on the box, this is the Hermit card. So it comes in quite good quality hard cardboard box. So I'm going to show some of the cards that I particularly like. And this deck is quite an innovation, and it's an innovation because it's a combined Taro and Lenormand deck, but it's also innovative because of the images. It's very original because Brad Ashlock is a multi-talented artist. So this is a great deck. It's just newly created, and it's available at his Etsy shop, which is called AshlockArts, and I'll put some details below the video. So this is collage images. Here is the back of the cards. The cardstock is great. I'm really impressed with the cardstock. These are matte finish on here, matte finish. I love the design on the back of the cards. Really love this design. I love the matte finish, but the cards have a silky feel, but they're really quite a joy to handle. I really love that. The cardstock is sturdy and good. I really love the cardstock. It's some of the best cardstock that I've come across in a long time, which is great. So start with the Taro images. Here is the Fool. So I love the rainbow hue, the colouring with this. You don't often see a rainbow with the Fool card, so I like that. Great Magician card. I love the Magician's table. And these images are even better in reality, if you get the deck. I love this Empress, this Dowager Empress. It's one of the best Empress images I've ever seen. I really love this image. It's one of my favorite images. It's just so beautiful. It's really gorgeous. Perfect image for the Empress. The other thing I want to mention as well, here is the Emperor. And I don't like many Emperor images, but I like this. I love the black borders. I wish more people, more creators would go with black borders. It just brings out the colours, it makes them pop. I quite like borderless cards too, but if you are going to do a border, the black border is just perfect. I would probably say that I prefer black borders rather than borderless. I just think it just looks great. So the Emperor. Justice. The other thing I love about these images, these cards, are that you can see something different. Like every time you would pick them up, you would find something else in here. The Hermit, which is on the box. And I love the lamp. There's these beautiful colours coming from the lamp. And I love that he's by the sea. It's really just such an original image, like all of the cards. Truly unique. It's a truly unique deck. What about this fortune card? The wheel. It's kind of got a psychedelic feel. And what I like about this as well, I think it really enables mind expansion. I'm at a stage now where I really needed this kind of deck. I have seen so many images with so many decks. I think I've become a bit desensitized to card images. And I'm also at a stage on my esoteric path that I really need this regeneration, which is what this deck is about. There's regeneration going on with the concepts and with the images themselves. I think it's very much needed. This deck is really a great representation of the new millennia that we've just begun. So fortune, temperance. There is some nudity in this deck, but it's all in context. It's quite a beautiful temperance card. And the colours in this card, it's really, the colours, are really quite appropriate, because temperance is also known as the alchemy card in the Crowley deck. And the light prism is very much connected to this image. So I think that's perfect. So temperance, very interesting devil image. The children here look like something from Village of the Damned. So some of the younger generation may need to Google that, Village of the Damned. But I just love that. I just love that. This is just so original. Great. Really beautiful star card. So you can see the urn or the picture here. It's a really beautiful card for the star. Here's another psychedelic one, the moon. What a great moon. I can just stare at these images for hours probably. The images draw you in, which they should. A good deck, good images should draw you in. This is a thought-provoking deck. And because this is an indie deck, you know, I don't have that many indie decks, but if I do have indie decks, I want something different. I want something, I want a reason to buy an indie deck. I want something innovative, original, unique, which is what this deck is. The Moon, and what a great Judgment card. It is just amazing. You know, you can see the resurrection here. It's got a 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional feel. It's just great. So there's some of the major arcana. Well, these are the major arcana because there are 52 cards. There's 22 major arcana as usual and 30 images from the Lenormand. So you have a 52 card deck. So now I'm going to show you some of the Lenormand images. Here is the clover. Really beautiful card. Just love that card. And the rider. So you really get a feel of the movement and speed with this image. It's a great rider card. The book. It's a really interesting image, this one. And what I like about this too, this deck, is that the images themselves have their own energy. I know some people say that, you know, the whole deck has an energy, but for me, each separate card, the images have their own energy because of the type of image that they are. Book. This is another one of my favorites. This is the lady. It's just so gorgeous. And it's multifaceted. There's you know, there's several images all in one here, but it just comes together so well. Such a great card for the lady. Another beautiful card. This is the lily. And I'll tell you a little secret here. I am not all that big a fan of Lenormand. I like Lenormand. I only have a few Lenormand decks, probably a handful. But having this one now, having these Lenormand images now, you know, really wins me over. Because there's depth with these images. I find Lenormand normally a little bit one-dimensional for me, but these images are certainly not one-dimensional. So, I mean, this is a really beautiful card for the lily, and I just love these images. Now here we have the garden, and I love that King Kong is standing in the garden, at the top of the garden. It's great. And these images are so thought-provoking. I think these cards would be great also for ritual, for journaling. Beautiful fox card. I love this. It's a gorgeous fox card. The colours are so vibrant. Really great. I could stare at these cards for so long. The scythe. And for a lot of these Lenormand images, the titles are in the cards, but they're not as obvious as this title is. The others you can see, you know, when you get your own copy. And there are only a limited. This is a limited edition deck. So, you know, if you want to get one, I would be starting to move on it, because limited edition, very limited edition deck. That's the scythe. Really beautiful flowers, flower card. As I said, this is really winning me over to Lenormand. It's really, you know, winning me over, because there's a lot of resonance with this, with these cards. Great mice card. I can see the mice here. Here with the corn. What a great mice card. Now, this is not your Grandma's Lenormand. Not at all. Great mice card. Coffin. You can see it here. It's, as I said, some of these images you can actually see better in person. So I mean, I can see these details in my hand here, but showing up on camera is a little bit tricky sometimes. There's a black coffin with a purple rim at the top. This is the coffin. Just another beautiful, really, really beautiful image. Like the colours are really vibrant. Love this tree card. What an original tree card. Just incredible. And I'm quite fascinated with the tree archetype. Quite fascinated. So this is a great card. There's a lot of thought and inner work that I can do with this type of image, because it is a very archetypal deck. So the tree. And the cross. And I love what has been done with this image. You know, you have the vertical and the horizontal here. It's just a truly unique image of the cross. And this is another archetype that fascinates me too. The equal armed cross. So this is an archetypal deck. This is also an esoteric deck. Multifaceted images, beautiful vibrancy, experiential. It's an experiential deck, and I think this is what is just so needed now. You know, this is a complete regeneration of Taro and Taro Major Arcana and Lenormand images. Just completely widening the concepts. Oh, I don't know. I don't think there's much else I can say. I'm not usually lost for words, but I think I've said the main things that need to be said about this deck. Lenormand by Brad Ashlock, limited edition. It's available on his Etsy shop called AshlockArts. I'll put some details below the video. I think this is absolutely worth getting. It's just so unique, truly unique. And it's actually it's also quite beautiful. I think for me it's all about the kind of mind expansion that does bring, it does truly regenerate these images for the new millennium, which is greatly needed at the time that we are now, the times we're living in. I think it's great for people who not only want something really different, but they're at a stage where, you know, they don't want something regurgitated. They don't want, you know, same old. You may be at a stage of wanting to regenerate your practice, whether it's divination or whether it's ritual, whatever you want to do. If you're at that stale kind of point on your path or in practice, and you really want to regenerate things, this is the deck to get. So Lenormand by Brad Ashlock, and I will put some details below the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.